Today's question is, what are the most important skills or characteristics to become a copywriter and or a great copywriter? Now, skills, we answer that in our videos. Go check them out on the main channel. Go, check them out. If you want more granular and in the weeds and like grittier stuff, like check it out on this channel. We talk about the important skills all of the time. And depending upon the kind of copyright, the kind of business that you work for, those skills, they're going to change a little bit, but they're not going to change very much. Persuasion sits at the bottom of all of it. So the more persuasive you are, given different contexts and different people, different audiences and different times in their life, yada, 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 the skills, that's a contextual thing as long as it all leads into persuasion. Now, I want to talk about a different thing, the characteristics. What characteristics make a great copywriter or make good copywriters in general? When it comes to like the people that are attracted to direct response and copywriting in general, here's a few bitter truths. One, this is common of any creative field, there's a proliferation of mental disorders and mood disorders. ADHD, anxiety, addiction, narcissism, like bipolar disorder, whatever the hell I have going on, like super, super common among people that are attracted to creative fields, but also copywriting in general. So if you have struggled with depression your entire life, welcome. Copywriting may be right for you. Sign up here. Buy now. Yada, yada. So that's one thing. Other characteristics that draw people to copywriting, a very common one is contrarianism. I don't know if you've noticed, maybe you've noticed if you've ever gone onto Reddit/r copywriting, but most copywriters, most of them, not all of them, most of them are assholes. They are absolutely assholes because in order to successfully put and consistently put creative work out there in the world, one, you need to have kind of a thick skin. And so you're going to be a little bit defended and defensive against anybody who offers any sort of constructive criticism against you. So anytime somebody's like, hey, why don't you try to, you're going to be like, fuck you, eat shit, go die. Whether it's like a deck, like pitching like creative concepts to a brand or a long form sales page or even an email, you need to be convinced of your own skill enough to know that regardless of how that piece of copy did, it's good, and that you did good job, and that job is done. If you aren't convinced of that, you will be paralyzed with the inability to finish a project or to submit a project or whatever. So, for those two reasons, copywriters, they tend to be dickish. So a lot of copywriters and creatives in general, especially at the higher levels, they tend to have spikes around their personality. They are not always the friendliest bunch. No copywriter I know is really truly nice, but many of the best copywriters are kind. And there is a difference between those two things. If you're an English language learner, the distinction is like nice is like, oh, honey bear, it's okay. You have a little boo-boo. You can do it. It's all right. Your copy isn't that bad. No, that's nice. It's affected. It's disingenuous. It's effectively lying to people. People from the West Coast of the United States tend to be nice, but not kind. Kind is like, you piece of shit, let me tell you all the things that are wrong with you. But they're doing that, and they wouldn't bother spending the time to do that if they didn't like you a little bit, and if they didn't care about you, if they didn't want you to succeed. Anyway, kind but not nice is a quality that you're going to see among many professional copywriters, people at the higher levels of copywriting, things like that. Okay, so those are the qualities of people that are attracted to copywriting as a profession. When I was at Agora Financial, this is like 2017 or 2018, the executive publisher, he actually hired a consulting company to come in and assess every single copywriter who was working for Agora Financial at the time, because he wanted to actually see not only what draws people to copywriting, but he also wanted to see the difference between the not performing copywriters versus the performing copywriters. Now, what separates those characteristics, people who are attracted to it, versus the people that are very, very good? When we were tested, and they tested the best copywriters and found out what their characteristics are, one of them is grit, perseverance, your basic Angela Duckworth shit. The things that you've probably heard this before, and you're probably like, oh, I already know that already, blah. Yeah, grit, your ability to stick with it. Like your ability to fail and fail and fail again and learn from each failure and grow. That is more important than intelligence. It is more important than talent. It is more important than your skill. Another common trait among the people that are at the very top of this game, and this is true of brand response and direct response, curiosity, an unrelenting, indefatigable desire to learn new things and to explore ideas and to gobble up information, and not just information about marketing and sales and things like that. I mean like all kinds of information, cultural information, like psychological information, fiction, nonfiction, studies, health. You have to be so plugged in to so many like esoteric and weird like niches and facts and information in order to put together campaigns around these big ideas. And that's what separates like the copywriters who get really rich and the copywriters who really like don't. Like, it's not just the ability to like produce big ideas, it's curiosity to like make you start investigating them in the first place. So characteristics of great copywriters, curiosity and grit. Those are two that I know, but I'm also going to like add one more into the mix. And that's going to be like flexibility, like the ability to change approaches when the occasion or the time calls for it. The ability to not only change the product that you write for, the type of copywriting that you write, but also the way that you write, depending upon the audience that you write for. There are definitely specialists, like your gunners, your snipers, stuff like that, in both the brand and the direct response world. Like, they figure out one thing that they're amazing at and they just nail it. But then there are other copywriters like David Deutsch who like dudes like made so much money writing everything from like magalogs for like direct response health businesses to like writing campaigns for Procter and Gamble. Like, I remember talking to somebody at one of the biggest brand agencies in America, Wieden and Kennedy. He was an executive creative director. And I mentioned that one of my mentors was David Deutsch, and he was like, holy shit, the David Deutsch? Because he's a big name in brand response too. And so again, like, there's some people, like the truly great copywriters, like they're able to be flexible. They're able to learn and sort of adapt to different styles and different mediums and different rhetoric and different persuasive styles too, different appeals, different things, They're not just stuck. Anyway, they're not one-trick ponies is what I'm trying to say. So those are the three characteristics of great copywriters. They're not a one-trick pony. They are flexible and able to do a lot of great things. They have a lot of grit and perseverance. They have a lot of curiosity, and they have a voracious appetite for information, and a voracious appetite for information across different types of information, and also like different media and stuff like that. But if you're wondering if copywriting is right for you, one, do you like writing? Check. That was the video. That was the answer to what are the important characteristics to become a copywriter and or to become a great copywriter. Focus on those things, and yeah, you'll probably do fine.